crying out, always drinking. Didn't wanna live, like damn, what am I thinking? Feeling like I'm taking the L, I'm smoking heavily. Elevated my vibe, I swore they was right next to me. Damn right, I want the killer at the funeral. Never having closure, you don't know what that'll do to you. You telling all these different stories, I just want the truth. Look you in your eyes, you lied, now I'm connecting clues. You tried to flip it, as if I was the enemy. Manipulation again, fall back, this shit is killing me. I made your plan in my thoughts, asking God for forgiveness. I wanted revenge, gave a fuck about going to prison. Feeling numb, hide my feelings, had to mask it. Changed my life forever, had to see all in the casket. To survive, pen in the pad, I started rapping. Rest in peace, Scotty, I rap, post-traumatic.
Hello, everybody, and welcome to KF&JF podcast. We have an exciting guest today on our show, and I can't wait to get to her so she can let you know exactly what she is about. But first of all, I'd like to thank all of you guys for out there for subscribing and getting out there and viewing our show. And I really do appreciate it when you do go to joybeloved.com and make those purchases, because you know that helps us bring all of these talents and entrepreneurs to the show. And I really do appreciate it, and thank you guys a lot for that. I want to go ahead on and introduce well, he's going to introduce himself. Go ahead there, young man, our co-host.
Hello, everybody. I'm Razak. I'm the CEO and founder of United Minority Business Ventures. My purpose is to help small businesses grow, and I assist with the creative process and maintenance of your business. My method is to achieve results, and I simply building a deeper relationship with your audience. We do this by forming opportunities to communicate and collaborate with your followers, subscribers, and other business owners. By using a wide range of networking tools, we have an understanding for building your marketing profile, social media marketing, figuring out your marketing strategy, or building your financial profile for your business. We also like to assist with branding your product or your merchandise. We may also determine what licenses are needed to operate your business, or if you plan on owning a domain or buying into pre-existing hosts for your page. We also like to drive traffic and manage your website. That allows me to select posts that create subscriptions, comments, and likes. And I'd like to say, Kyoung, it's good to have you on the podcast today.
Oh, thank you. Happy to be here. Can't wait to get started.
All right. Yes, ma'am. We're going to get started in something that I think is going to help a lot of people out there, and also be able to get them in a mood for some really good things. But go ahead, introduce yourself, Miss Young.
Okay, yeah. I'm just an artist. I do hip hop music. Write my own lyrics, songs, the whole thing, whole 9 yards. I'm originally from New Jersey. I've been living in San Diego for the past 4 or 5 years. But yeah, just basically just leaning into the creative side of my brain, and just writing songs that just kind of reflect what I've been through, what I go through, how I feel, and most importantly, just giving a voice to those who can relate to the music. So that's the main thing about me right there.
All right.
Yeah.
Well, that may be the main thing you have to say now, but we're going to get into what's really in that heart and what makes it ticks in this music world, because I know there's a lot to be said about Miss Young. So can you tell us a little bit about what's unique about you? What are some things that people don't know about you that's unique, and you can share with our audience right now?
For me, I guess like the background, I always played basketball. I was a D1 athlete. I went to UMass on an athletic scholarship. I actually played professional basketball overseas. I lived in Iceland for about a year. After that, I started playing football here in San Diego as well. After that, um,
big sports fan. Shout out to the Knicks. We up right now. Been watching that game, so I'm a big Knicks fan. And then yeah, just with music, I switched over to just like being creative with just just talking about how I feel in a creative way. I was very to myself before, very shy or very just like I never really made music and never took it serious. Maybe 6 years ago, I started doing it serious. So for me, where it comes from is in 2015, my younger brother he passed away, and then 2 years later, my older brother passed away, and they were my only siblings. So for me, my music, most of the music and the songs that I make are therapeutic for me. Just going through the grief journey and losing my brothers and like how I dealt with just having depression, anxiety, and just going through that path. So I have a bunch of songs where I'm just going through my mind in different stages of that. So I think that's the most unique part of just me and my music is that it's just deeply rooted in also in just like grief and like getting uh just getting through that in a positive aspect.
Yeah, I think that's an important part of in our lives, that when we go through things like that, how we're able to funnel it. Where are we gonna funnel it? Because sometimes there's drugs, sometimes there's other ways to funnel loss, and so for you to drive it in a positive way toward music is really is unique. And so I'm going to pass it over to Razak, where he has some questions for you.
For sure.
Okay. Well, okay. So let's get into this music. All right. So, uh, who were the first rappers you listened to growing up? As that actually got you like, hey, I want to put some words together and see if I can start rapping or something.
um when I was younger, my older brother he always used to play Wu-Tang, Method Man, back in the day, the 90s. So they were like my style or just my, I guess, the laid backness and the I guess just the kind of like the calm and chill, but also getting a point across. Just that vibe comes more so from that 90s era as well. But my first listen into like taking it serious and listening to the music would be, I would say, like Wu Tang and Method Man
Okay.
growing up.
Okay. Okay. Now you just mentioned okay, so you you mentioned the loss of your brothers and stuff like that, but okay, so and how you was forming your songs, but how does those personal experiences actually like shape the theme or the stories in your songs?
Mhm. It just shapes it in the sense of just basically what I'm thinking, how I'm feeling. I mean, obviously in the beginning, I didn't know what to do with my feelings, didn't know what to do. I know we mentioned before, drugs, drinking. I used to drink, and I just was like, I have to find a positive. I mean, I still drink. I mean, I don't want to say I used to drink and get, it was just more. It now it's just it's more mature now. I put it that way. But yeah, that used to be therapy. The and I think in our culture that's just something that we all go to, and we drink to get over our pain or kind of suppress our feelings. So like for me, just what I'm thinking and going through in those moments, I rather like pick up a pen and write about it, but kind of like write it in a creative way. Just for example, I have a song called Fear is Survival, and in the beginning of that song is just it talks about my brothers, and the title, that's actually one of my favorite songs that I've written and recorded, because it's 100% who I am and just like how I felt at that time and how I feel periodically. So that's more so just like how I feel in my grief and just like being just being aware of just like what I'm going through, and just being able to just kind of connect that to in a song and in words. So yeah, I think that did that answer the question correctly, or was that?
It's
Yeah.
the answers is the answers is how you want to answer them.
Okay,
It's
okay.
just the questions are made for how you absorb it
Mhm.
because this next one right here I have written down. It's like a because I write music and stuff like that. I used to perform and do all that type of stuff too. So a lot of these questions is just like I mean, because I'm like an artist. I just don't really do it that much. I'm more of a writer now, but so it's like so can you walk us through a story or a message behind the specific songs that you made? I mean, I know you mentioned that one that was your favorite, but or is
Mhm.
every single song made to have a message inside of it?
I think if the message would just be like, yeah, I'm going through this grief process, the grief journey, right? And
Mm-hmm.
I think listening to, if you really listen to the words, it would just be, hey, you was going through that, you was thinking about this, um giving up, not understanding like why this happened. We all have those questions, but you're still here, and you're still fighting, and you're still, trying to win in life and be successful. So my message more so is just like, yeah, we can be sad, of course, we can, um but yeah, no, the message is just basically like keep going, don't crash out, basically, and just like we all are feeling these same feelings of like, man, where do we go now? What do we do now? The message is just, it's okay to talk about how we feel, because I know we normally don't do that, especially in our culture. It's just more like, you going through this, you okay? We drink our pain away, whatever the case. But for me, it's just, it's the message is just okay. Like, this is what I'm going through, and I'm sure some of you guys feel the same way. But let's just relate to that, and then like just
Mm-hmm.
kind of, help each other out through the journey.
Okay, so all right, so I know you. So your rap lyrics have more of a meaning of grief, of grief. Okay, so how do you approach writing lyrics that, how should I say, resonate with your listeners on a personal level? Now, and that's to say, like, okay, you're kind of writing about yourself, but but in writing it, I mean, you still got to make it, like pop or something like that. I mean, you still got to make it, I mean, like a hit. So
Yeah,
how does that happen?
that's a good question. That's been maybe the past couple years. I noticed that I have to change like certain melodies, or certain like tones, and then the beat has to be a
Mhm.
little bit up, because I know it could be, I don't want it to be too sad or too deep. So in the first album I have, it's called Numb the Pain. Like I spoke about, the fear of survival is like it's like kind of like a deep song. Post traumatic is a deep song, and I figured, like, how can I switch it up a little bit to kind of get it to be more like, you can play this on the radio, or you can play this when you in a car, or you out, and you don't like have to like cry or shed a tear, right? So there's some
Yeah.
songs that I've heard where I'm like, oh, they was able to do that without it being too, or like overly like, oh man, I can't listen to this song, because I have songs like that, not that I personally made, or like there's songs that I listen to or I can't listen to because it's too deep, or it'll like, oh man, it hits too hard. So I've had to like just change. For me, it is just like kind of flowing with a faster beat, but still getting the message across. You're still saying the same things, or maybe switch a couple words around. But just basically just starting with that beat. If it's like more of a high tempo beat, and then just continue to just like still keep the flow, still be myself, but just make it more of a high tempo. Um, so like I have a song called Die Young, right? Like both of my brothers were pretty young, and
Mhm.
so that's just like we all lost one at a young age. Like they were young, we were young, but it's more. that beat is more up tempo. So it was kind of like I just changed the beat to kind of like make it more relatable and more of an easier listen at any point of the day type thing. So I think it would just be like the beat behind the music.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. And I know how difficult that could be because you're kind of pouring your heart and emotions into the song because you want to get your instead of like dwelling on it, I guess you call it, and then and writing it down, but at the same time you want it to be heard and felt on a not so sad but still feel it, I guess, you know what I mean.
Yeah.
Like movies
That,
can be sad and the music kind of adds to the sadness, you know what I mean. I studied something on there where they said a lot of movies and stuff when they add that music, and something about the music is that actually adds to how
yeah.
it makes you feel when you're hearing it.
Mm.
Can you let me see. How does your hometown? Okay, so you're from New Jersey, right?
Mhm.
So how does your hometown or upbringing influence your sound of lyrics? Okay, now this is like, because I know we hear like New York got their little style, the New York style, and you got the, I guess, with the bounce down south or something, the drill music or whatever, and then you got L.A. rappers. So how is the New Jersey sound?
I mean, for us, as far as rap, I think it's more so of the just like lyrically, just having really good lyrics, just like just being real to yourself. The sound is more, if I can compare it to anything, it will be. I mean, it gives the New York vibe as far as rappers like the Jay-Z's, the Nas, the like lyrical genius type of ordeal. I think where I'm from, that's what matters the most is just like lyrics. Like, um, there's some people that just don't make sense when they rap, or like it's just like you just saying anything and it's not relatable, or it could be, but you're not doing it in a really creative way. I think where I'm from is more so it can be compared to like a New York vibe, but like more so like the '90s, like back in the day where um, it was more quality music as far as the lyrics and being creative with your words and making sense. So I would say that compared to that.
Okay,
Yeah.
okay. Um, how does Okay, so we got the how you started, and I want to know because I know I've ran across a lot of different rappers in my time and singers and stuff too. Would you say that your cultural background has an influence from your dialogue and the words you use?
Yeah, for sure. I think the culture, especially where I'm from, and then just our culture in general. I think certain like the language we use, the words we use, um, that's deeply rooted in a lot of my songs. So maybe somebody from West Coast or South, if they hear a word or hear me like say certain things, they might not know what that is, or they might know, oh, you must be from the East Coast because you said this, or you talk like this, or maybe because you're rapping fast, you from the East Coast. Something like that. So I think more so, yeah, the culture. Growing up, we all started off with like freestyling, especially like at school or at home, and that's one thing I share with my brothers. Like at home, we would freestyle and just rap.
Yeah.
So I think that's deeply like rooted in like my music as well. Because sometimes in my process, I'll just start off freestyling, and then I'll just like snowball off of it, and then like, oh, that sounds like I can put that as a hook, or that sounds like I can put that in the actual verse in the song. So then I could have like a 30 bar 30 bar freestyle, and I can just kind of put that into I could break it up into a song and take like, all right, let me take 16 bars from this and make it my first verse. Let me take the rest,
Yeah.
put it here. Let me add here. Let me make more sense like a song. The last bar I'll make it stand out more. I end up I'll have, let's say, like 4 bars, and I'll switch them around because it sounds better at the end. So it's kind of like that's more of the cultural, just freestyling and then just trying to make it into a song easier to listen to. for the mass
Right.
majority of people. So yeah.
Yeah, I did a lot of freestyling back in the day. I got a whole bunch of
Yeah.
recordings and stuff like that. A lot of people always had me because they knew, I mean, I got like a LA style versus, I mean, down south or East
Mhm.
Coast or something like that. They always told me that it was just I guess the words that I use and the way I do it. But at the same time, it's still like
Mhm.
an old style too. I guess it got an old soul. But
Yeah.
Keith, you got something for it?
Yeah, I do appreciate you guys going through the East Coast, West Coast move as far as music go. But I'll tell you what, I have a few questions and I'm going to get into them. But I like to start off a little bit by asking you about mental
Mhm.
health, because when you're
Mhm.
talking about dealing with loss and dealing with these things and the fact that, our culture is so driven toward substance, and things like that. So how do you keep yourself rounded, in a way where you're balanced, in your mental health? Do you do something spiritually? Do you walk? Do you run? Or is it just the writing aspect of the music that balance you?
I would say my balance from the beginning. Um, After my brothers passed, I had the 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 normal. I'll be fine. It was still at shock, and I think uh, until most recent, like in our culture, we never really talked about going to therapy. We never talked about talking to anybody, like like we discussed before. But before maybe like 4 years ago, 4 or 5 years ago, I gave it a chance. So I did do therapy. I think it was about a year. And then I go like periodically. I haven't done it recently, but that's what I started off with, because I just knew that this is not normal the way I'm feeling, or I shouldn't feel this way or think certain thoughts of just like giving up because you feel so depressed. But therapy was the root and the core of it, as far as just seeking help and like um, acknowledging the fact that okay, I'm not okay, and being okay with like going to therapy and not feeling like, oh man, I know in the beginning I was like, oh, this is so stupid, it's not gonna help. But for me, therapy was something that's the core of what I needed to for my mental health. And then just reading books, working out, and then obviously me writing has been the most therapeutic for me as far as my mental health. Just like getting back to the music, just like writing out my feelings and how I feel at that moment or earlier in the week, or was if I'm missing my brothers, I may just start writing some memories out and then just turn it into a song. So all of that has been more so my like mental health balance.
I think that's a perfect way of talking about that. I'm only going to say because you already know my story about my wife and whatnot, and that's how I was when I started writing. I would just like just walking down somewhere and I just write. I'd be writing on a napkin because the thoughts would just come out of my head, and it was grief coming out, and those
Yeah.
words wasn't really a song. They were just words until I would go back and look at them and put them together and find words from find pieces that I can make into a song, but trying to do what you're saying, not make it where it's all about grief and not nothing that can uplift in that way. So what I wanted to ask you was when you're writing, what are some of those places that you've written a lyric down that you least oh man, it just came to me right here. Hold on, you guys, I gotta
Mhm.
write this down. Or you walking somewhere and something come down, you're like, oh man, I gotta get back to the car before I forget these few words.
Yeah.
Have you had that kind of experience with your writing?
Yeah, for sure. I think sometimes it just comes to my head. I think while I'm at work and I'm just like I'm in the back writing writing out lyrics. Uh, uh, I remember one time my boss, he came downstairs and I'm like shutting my book like, oh snap. So like let me get back to work. But like yeah, like at work I would just write lyrics, or like I guess the worst is like when you driving and then all the oh man, I gotta pull over so I can write this out or something like that. And then sometimes when I'm at the beach that's another mental health balance for me, going to the beach, just watching the calm water, the nice weather, just sitting there relaxing, taking life all in and appreciating it. Sometimes I start writing there too, and just words just start coming. I start bringing my notebook, or because I'm still old school. I like writing in notebooks. It just gives a different feel than
Right.
putting it in my phone. So I'll write in the notebook. I'll have it in my phone and literally take it and put it in the notebook. So, but yeah,
Oh
yeah,
yeah,
work,
yeah.
beach, yeah, driving. Just when the words come, you gotta jot it down anywhere you at.
I think that's the artistic part about being, now you're a writer, right? Because people don't normally have that kind of thinking process where they want to do that. Who wants to be driving and all of a sudden I got to pull over to write something down? That's
Yeah,
somebody
yeah,
that knows when stuff comes to them. Even the Michael Jacksons, the Princes, and all of those guys, they were writing down things right off the top, on paper, right at the restaurant table, writing it down to get a few bars out.
yeah.
I've heard of that. So I think that just
Mhm.
shows that you are committed to trying to better yourself and taking advantage of what God's giving you in that talent. So I think that's one of the things that comes when you're especially when grief is involved as well. So another question I wanted to ask you about is it do you pull anything from current events, things that are going around that you see in your travels, and talk a little bit about places that you've traveled to that may have changed how you write songs, or how you see what you're doing.
Um, Different places. I would say. I mean, even just being in San Diego is more like wherever I'm at. It brings a different experience to what I'm going through or what I see. Just like out here is just like palm trees, the nice weather, the beach. My most recent EP is called palm hookah and palm trees. Palm trees and hookah. I can't even think right now. But the palm trees, that just came from just being in San Diego, and just like my appreciation of just the nature of how beautiful these trees are. but but yeah, that so like wherever I'm at, I just pull from just my environment or what I'm going through at that time. Maybe outside of my grief, just like my daily like conversations or just like interactions or whatever the case may be. So just pulling out stuff from like that. So yeah.
Mhm.
Well, that's an important part of being able to take your surroundings and try to build from it, as far as your goal when you're writing is to try to make sure you can pull these pieces from, like you say, just from a tree. You never know, you may have a song about a tree, the roots,
Yeah.
the tree, whatever. I can't rap, but I want to
Yeah.
try to rap, but
Mhm.
I can't rap. So one of the other things I want to ask you about is that, what are some of the feedback and influences that you've gotten from your friends and people that are around you? Have you been getting feedback that helps you, or do you just decide that these people don't know what I'm about, so I'm not worried about what they say?
No, I'm actually the type of person that I would release a million songs and not even ask people what they think about it for the most. Like, there's only a select few of people that I'll make a song and I'll send it to them like, hey, what you think about this? Because I know they'll be honest. But for the most part, I just I don't really care what people think. I just even like if it's something you don't like, maybe I like it. For me, I don't know, or maybe somebody else like it. You don't like it. I mean, I think we wait around for people's opinion and we listen to everything. Then you'll never be satisfied with what you do, right? Because people are gonna say something. Oh no, I don't like this, or you should have did this, or should have made it like this. So I think, you just gotta be yourself. That's how that's how I operate. I just be myself, put the music out. People say they like it, I'm like, all right, cool. People say they don't like it, I'm like, all right, cool. It don't matter. But there's people that'll hit me up, like my friends back home or just like random people. Oh yeah, I like this song and I can relate to this, or stuff like that. And the positive, that just makes me like keep going to the point, like, okay, like there are people that they are relating to my music. So it makes you feel good that the creative music and the creative lyrics and like putting it all together, that someone gets it. What I mean, somebody gets the point. So it feels good.
It's like a good cook getting praised for food. When
Yeah.
a good cook get a
Yeah.
smile and somebody eating their food, they're like, yeah. But when you do that song and you got somebody that relates to it, it's like, yeah, I know that I'm doing the right thing. I know I'm reaching who I wanted to reach, even if you, like you said, you don't care. But the fact is that your
Yeah.
music is designed. Music is designed to help to, it's something for everybody in music. It's
Mhm.
therapy. It's just the sound, everything. So music is the universal love. So
Right.
can you talk a little bit about a life lesson that you may have you know, experience that kind of, I know we've talked about the hardship part, but is it any other life lessons you've gotten that, that's helping you move towards your goal in music or just your goal in life in general?
Uh, my goal, just I guess in general, I guess it will be for me is just I've always done things in the mindset of just like be yourself for one. For two, there's nobody that's gonna come and save you from any situation, right? Besides God, like there's no human being on earth that's that's gonna take this pain away, right? That's gonna give me $1 million just because. So like with that, I kind of use that and say, you know what, especially when I was going through my grief journey, I came to the realization that no one person is going to come in my life and make me feel better and make me be happy and make me feel okay, and I won't be depressed anymore. So with that is just like being proactive to make myself be happy, make myself appreciate life, because people, you can't give people that responsibility, as is your responsibility to respond to your grief on how you want to respond to it. And like it's kind of like what they say, we can't control what happens to us, but we control like how we respond. So I kind of take that and run with it. Like this is how I'm going to respond. I'm gonna try to be positive. I'm gonna keep going. I'm not going to give up, and I'm not going to expect somebody to save me from this. Like it, so
Right.
just that.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I think you say a lot in that statement, because that's one of those things that even if you're a superstar or anything like that, you still got to remember the fact that you can't wait on nobody else. You still got to keep doing what you're doing. Even if you're
Yeah.
not a superstar, you still got to, it relies on you. You're the person in charge of you, and you're the one that's going to set forth all of the goals that you have, and you're the one who's got to have to go out there and achieve it. So there's nobody that's going to step in there and say, "Oh well, here's the here's the $1 million, or here's that chance
Yeah.
that you want." You
Exactly.
got to go out there and beat down the doors and make it yourself. And that's what the that's what it's all about. Especially in that industry, you're constantly banging on the door, because you know that there's a lot of people out there trying to come up and do those same things. So, Razak, I'll pass it over to you right now.
Yeah. Um, okay. So let's dive in. Okay. So so you've been doing this for 6 years, right?
Yeah, just about.
Or
At least
just
taking it
about six
serious,
years.
recording. Yeah,
Yeah, because you always start with the freestyle, and then you say, "Hey, I can I'm
yeah.
actually good at this." So, have you ever faced any challenges in the industry due to your background or the circumstances that led you to get into music more professionally with the loss of your brothers?
No, not really. I haven't really faced not too many challenges as far as like outside other people. I think just knowing, who's here to try to help, or like, you'll have people, especially like with Instagram, people like, oh, if you you pay for this, and I'll put your music or something on my website or stuff like that, and you just gotta know who, like, if it's a scam or stuff like that. That's the biggest challenges I come to. So I'm just like, yeah, I just kind of just do my own thing, put my stuff out. If it, it is what it is. But there's no biggest challenges outside of that. The only other challenges, if I'm in the mood of just not feeling like doing anything, as far as, if I'm sad, or maybe it's one of my brother's anniversaries, or the birthday or the holiday comes around. Those are the times where it's kind of like it's hard to write in that moment, like right then and there. So I try to push through. Sometimes I, can be creative. Sometimes I have to wait the next day or the next couple days to really like be able to take that thought or those feelings at that time and put it into a song. So I think the challenge is that is just being consistent with just like making music all the time, no matter how I feel. Because there's times, obviously, when you're going through grief, or you feel depressed, or you have, certain thoughts, you just kind of don't want to make music. Sometimes I get into that challenge of like, of course I love doing it, I love making music, but sometimes I don't want to do it right now. So
Right, right. Yeah, I could definitely understand with that. That's almost like having writer's block. You can be
mhm.
writing some stuff and emptying your brain so much that it is kind of overwhelming to because I don't you probably might be doing this too. Like you can write something down and you can read what you wrote, and it's like, oh, what I mean, then it's like another double whammy type hit. I'm like, damn, I just wrote all this,
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
damn, I could feel it. What I mean? So
Yeah.
somebody else is gonna feel it too.
Mhm.
But and you said that you was okay, so you went from basketball to football to rapping, right? So how did or would you say that like the hip hop, the culture, the trends and stuff, did that like reshape your identity from being, more of like a football player or a basketball player, because you left those to become this for your final career, right? Or a new career?
Yeah. So you're saying like if that did being like the athlete kind of change like how I make the music? Is that what you're saying, or like?
No, no, like so okay, as an athlete, you're in the mind state of an athlete. You're training, you're performing, you're doing all those
Mhm.
different things. And then you went to football, and then so that's another training and doing all that stuff. So and you're a certain type of person when you're saying that you're an athlete. You know what I mean? So you take up a lot of the things that are relative to being an athlete. So as you became a rapper, so now like the culture of rapper, the whole persona and everything that they have, the dressing, the language, the going out, is that, would you say that gave you a different identity than, somebody would say like you're a different person now as a rapper than you are than you
Oh, okay.
as an athlete?
Oh no, I think for me it's just a parallel. I think I'm the same person. Like even when I make music, if I'm rapping, I always just stay true to like my experiences, or just like what I've seen, what I've heard. Just because like now the whole rap culture is, just getting attention, and just, trying to go viral and stuff like that. And a lot of people do that from trying to, act hard, or have their lyrics be like real explicit, or they like do some crazy stuff so people can come watch their videos or stuff like that. So I think for me, I just stay like this true to myself and who I am, and I feel like it would be better if, if I'm as an athlete, as a person, I'm just competitive. I'm uh, just true to the game, meaning just like I'm gonna put in the work, and then you guys will see like, oh man, you made this song, you made this song, you doing that, you got another song coming out. I'm working hard, I'm doing this, I'm making a video, I'm trying to, just be positive myself, and I'm gonna just be that even when I rap. I'm still be competitive. I'm gonna still um, make music, but I'm gonna just make it in my own world. Like make it in the world of just like we can be like, you can be yourself. I'm not no gangster. I don't really talk crazy in my songs about, what most people talk about in hip hop, right? So I think just being different and being myself is that's my parallel. I can't, like, for me, I'm not gonna change who I am and what I do just because everybody else is doing it, or that industry. This is what you can do to make $1 million, but I just feel like it won't feel right if I'm being fake. If I'm just trying to make this million and I'm being fake and I'm doing something that's just not me. It's just like that's, to me, that it
Yeah.
just don't sit right. So it's like I just be myself, just regardless of what I'm doing. So I won't. You don't gotta switch up. You just be yourself. So
Yeah, yeah. I'm glad you mentioned that other part about what because I was going to ask you that too because okay, so the musical style for a lot of females is more I don't even know what to call it. It's more sexual in their verses. They're more they're going like this, and you're saying you're not that type of rapper. You don't do those type of things. You're not just I guess the only word would be with shaking ass and got your titties
oh yeah.
all out trying to do that stuff.
Yeah, see
So
that
what
to me, yeah, I would that would be weird if you interviewing me right now and a
yeah,
year
like
a year from now I look like Megan Stallion. That's crazy. Like, what are you talking? It's just not, it's not me. So it's kind of like I mean I understand why people do it, but to me it's just like, if that's you, do you. But I feel like, I'm not the perfect person. I'm not saying I'm doing Christian rap or anything, but you gotta kind of understand, like, you have people listening to you as well. There is a responsibility of, like, if I'm talking about, oh, let's go kill somebody, like, some people, they think, okay, like, it's cool to do that, and for me, I think, like, females in the industry now, like, yeah, sex sells, so yeah, it makes sense, right? It makes sense to, like you said, like, shake your ass, be half naked in your videos, and if that's your bag, that's what you want to do. Do your thing. But for me, I feel like you're not gonna see me in a skirt or uh, making songs like whoever just like dancing. You're not gonna see me do that because it's just not me. So I think people do that. That's, maybe that's just what they want to do, but I don't like to portray something that's just not. I don't know. Just not
not your
me, I guess.
style.
Yeah, yeah.
So what would you have your style be, or what would you? I mean, we say hip hop for everything, but would you be like
Mhm.
what would you be, a conscious rapper, or contemporary? What is that, contemporary style or something, or
I
kind of
think
like rap pop or?
I mean, if we could, if we compare it, I would say, like, right now my favorite rappers, I would say, is like more so like a J. Cole vibe, where I mean, not kind of, he's a very positive person, very positive rapper. But he also can give you, you know, different ranges, but he's still like a positive, maybe like a conscious rapper. For me, I would say, kind of sort of along the same lines of that. So yeah, like
Okay,
conscious rapper for sure.
you'd be a little more conscious, right? Okay,
Yeah,
more of a empowerment and
yeah,
education versus
yeah.
the
Empowerment,
destruction and separation.
yeah. Empowerment, education. Just like,
Mhm.
this what I'm going through, this environment that I am in, like, this is what's going on, but I'm still here, or like we could still make it. We could still, I don't have to, like, I'll rap about a song. You can see the growth of, like, in the beginning, it was like, oh, when I'm writing, I would have to be drinking to get the words to be creative, and then now, I like, that's one thing that I can say that I'm really proud of myself too. But, like, even now, I can, like, soberly sit here and be super creative and not have to quote, like, drink, or just kind of be in a different mindset to try to force out that creative side of me. So it's kind of like, um you can see that in the music as well, because I can say like, I used to drink this or do this to drown my feelings, and then it's like, oh, that's how I used to cope with it, and then you can see the growth, and just like, this is just how I'm feeling right now, this is how I'm dealing with it. And I know I had to work some lyrics that said, I went to therapy and I felt like she couldn't help me, something like that, right? So it's like, I'm showing you, like, I'm trying these other things, these positive things. And in my mind, I'm thinking that no, she can't help me. But in hindsight, if I think about it now, like, it made the biggest difference in the world. It did help me. So it's like you can see that in the music too.
Right, right. And thinking of therapeutic wise, what I mean, because of the way that you say some of your songs are geared to making them. Um, would you say that it's how should I say, is there like the inspiration behind like your beats and your lyrics, like you can be like you said, you could just be walking down anywhere to just and just be coming up with stuff. But do you ever think of how you actually come up with your lyrics and your beats? Is it from, are you grasping it from something that you heard and it made you, because I could hear other people's songs and it'll
Mhm.
make me think of something that they missed in their song. You know what I mean? Like I said, man, well, it sounded cool, but they didn't talk about this. Or what I mean,
Yeah,
a lot of rappers, they glorify gangs and drinking and doing all these different things, but they don't ever talk about that time you got to go do when you get caught. You know what I mean?
yeah,
They got all the flashy
Yeah.
stuff, but what about the guys that are getting locked up by doing all that stuff? We're totally missing that part. You know what I mean? So
yeah.
so how do you derive the and I know you said you have your brothers and stuff like that in the grieving process, but I'm just thinking that's not all that you do. I mean, I heard a couple of your songs, so you
Yeah, I
have
think
some kind of versatile.
yeah,
Mhm.
yeah. I think the different range is too, also like just R&B. Like R&B, I guess you could call it hip hop, because it's like I don't sing. I'm still rapping, but it's more like an R&B feel, as far as just talking about like relationships or something like that. So even with that, that's just drawing from my relationships, or just talking to someone, and I'm just drawing like, oh, this is what happened. Let me put it in a song, and I can make it sound. Um, I can make it sound like a good up tempo song, or like something slow, or and of course we all can relate to certain situations. So I pull from like personal experience. And another thing is just like, I'll sit here and put on instrumental beats, and I'll listen to 20, 30, 40, whatever. And whatever one that well, for me, whatever one that I hear, and it instantly just that gives me a vibe, and I instantly just can like write to it. Then I know that that's the beat that I need for whatever song that's in my head at that time. So it's kind of like, and then that goes back to the freestyling. So if I can hear a beat and I connect with that beat, then that's the beat that I'll keep. Yeah.
You know what? I'm glad you just said that right there, because that's what I wanted to ask you too. I asked you something else, but I wanted to ask you that,
Yeah.
and you just brought it back to me now. What now? Me, like when I write, I don't necessarily need a beat. I'll think of it, and I'll do like the 4 count. I don't know if you know what the counts. Look at the 4 count, 8 count. I could just tap that on the on a desk or something and write like that. Now, would you say that you're more of a, you hear? So you just said, do you hear the beat and rap, or do you make stuff and then try to find a beat to match it?
Both. It's both. Sometimes if I'm intentionally like really trying to make a song, I'll put a beat
Mhm.
on to see like, okay, what kind of flow do I want to write this to, or whatever like that. Or like we said, if I'm freestyling, if I'm just in the house, or just like somewhere, and I'll just come up with some lyrics, and then I'll find a beat later. A lot of times I'll rap to a beat and then hear another beat that's probably better, and it's more um, it sounds better with these lyrics, then I'll take that those lyrics off of this beat and put it on a different beat. So I'll switch things around if I hear a different beat that's better. So yeah, so it's like All of the above. just yeah, without the beat, with the beat, switching beats up.
You do it all.
Yeah, yeah. This is whatever the vibe, whatever sounds better and the vibe is better with that beat, then I'll switch it sometimes.
All right, now let me ask you one more question. I'm gonna pass it to Keith. Okay, okay, because I do music, so I'm glad that we have somebody on here that does music. It's good to ask you this stuff. Would you what do you think about storytelling in your lyrics as you do your rap versus I guess just a format of words that just lead. You know what I mean? I
Yeah.
mean, I don't know if some people get it, but there's a difference from storytelling and then just saying something. You know what I mean on your thing. How do you come up with doing what are you going to do? How do you
Um,
decide?
the storytelling artists, you have to love them because it's hard to do that. It's hard to stick to this one topic or just like let me tell you what happened ABCD. I
Yeah.
think
Mm-hmm.
my song I have post traumatic is one song that I have where it's uh, a storytelling. This is what happened first, second, and this is my feelings that happen when these events happen. Um, it's hard to just stay on that, but that one is very heartfelt. So it depends on the timing. Like I made that a couple years ago, like 2019, that song, and that's when I was really just going through it. So like it was easy to kind of like write that out now. And like even right now, I'm trying to do that again, and it's like, dang, I'm like needing to focus more. So the storytelling, I like. It seems like people like that more. I kind of like it more as well, like depending on what the topic is, because it forces you to be more creative to kind of like this word has to kind of rhyme with this word, but this whole paragraph they're that they all kind of like rhyme with each other, but I have to tell a story. It's not just me freestyling. Like this has to like make sense, and I'm trying
Right.
to paint a picture so you guys can see like day 1, 2, 3, like all you want to see it in order. So like it's a little harder, but I prefer it though. It sounds good.
Okay. Okay. Uh,
Well,
Keith.
well, I'm gonna tell you something. I am a story writer. That's how I write
There
my
we go.
songs.
There we go.
Just so all my songs are when you said that how you gonna make something rhyme from another paragraph, that is exactly what you have to do. Even if you're writing
Yeah.
it out, you need to be able to draw something from it that makes it sound like it's flowing, right? It's flowing together.
Yeah, exactly.
I am a storyteller writer, and all my songs are that way. And some of them are way too long, so I have to cut
Yeah.
them or make them smaller to be able to make it. Otherwise, people be like, "Dang, man, when you done? When you done with this song, man? You've been singing it,
Yeah.
you still
Part
singing it,
5.
yeah, man. Oh my God, I mean, yeah, but that's the storytelling. It's short stories and they're long stories. So and that's why they got albums.
Mhm. Yeah.
You got to get, you get an album. They got the 3-minute song. They got the 9-minute song. You be like, "Dang, let me hear the
Yeah.
long
Shoot,
version."
The
That's me.
9 minute
5 minutes.
song, that's a long
I done
song
heard some. I
right
done
there.
heard some 5 minute songs.
That's the long version. You got
Mhm.
12 minutes, man, still singing. Like, yeah, keep going. But you got to have that
Extended
flow. You got
version.
to be able make
Yeah.
words. And that's what I do. And I love doing that because it comes from the grief. Really, it comes from my grief. And I can't just stop and I'll just keep going. But it's not about me. It's about you. So let me ask you this question. Do you use any instrument? Have you played with any instruments before? Did you know how to play the drums, trombone, trumpet and all these things?
No, I don't know how to play instrument. I mean, when I was younger, I played the drums, but I can't read music. I tried it and I was like, I just went back to basketball, but nah, I don't play any instruments or anything.
No. Okay.
Wow.
Yeah.
So don't you think that's going to be something you're going to have to get into as you move forward in your rapping business? Because you got to
I
know
mean,
what everybody else is.
I'm down. I'm down to learn. I'm down to learn some new stuff like that. Yeah.
You got to be able to
Hardest part
play
about
those
being
instruments, and it's hard to do it.
Yeah.
Nobody really wants to do that. The singer just wants to sing and rap and do all that. Everybody that's
Yeah.
behind them, hey, you know what I want. You better play it on F or D flat or whatever. You don't know. They
man.
just gonna be, running your music crazy. Tell me one of the
Yeah.
things that is a misconception about rappers. What are some of the misconceptions out there about women rappers and just rapping in general?
Misconception. I kind of think we hit on it earlier. Just like females, males. Just I think people coming up or just artists in general, they think they have to portray what everyone else wants to see or what everyone else wants to hear. I think that's the biggest misconception, because you're sitting here trying to perform and make songs and something you don't even believe in, or maybe you're so like delusional that you start to believe that, hey, yeah, I am a gang member or I am like this hard person, and you really not. So it's kind of like, I think that's the biggest misconception of just people just selling out, just being something that they not. I think that's the biggest one that I see. I mean, we all see that time and time again. So
Okay.
Yeah, it's out there, and people are believing who they are, and that's kind of like how some of these, as we know in the rap industry, some of these fights have started, shootings have started, the beef has started in this place where they thinking the words that they saying is really who they are, and man, you
yeah,
just slinging words together. You ain't about this, and you ain't about
yeah,
that. Then when it's time to be about that, the first thing they pull out is a gun, right? The first thing they
yeah.
pull out is to make themselves think that they're powerful. They pull out the gun, and that's the story. So let me ask you this: what type of legacy do you see in what you're doing in the music industry in your life? What are some of the things that in with your family you want to leave behind? I know you may have other families members that look up to you. What are some of the things that you want to show them about yourself or let them know?
Just not giving up. I think, especially for my family members, I have nieces and nephews, and you know, family members, just friends or just people where I'm from. Just basically the legacy of like, man, you've been through this, and this, and you didn't give up. You didn't travel down the road that everybody else did. You just did your own thing. You was always yourself. Um, you just always real. Keep it real. I think, but that to me is just a legacy that I would want people to see, that just authentic, being authentic, and just like I keep saying it, but just being myself and just giving that just being a walking example of, yeah, we're gonna go through the worst times in our lives and have the most traumatic experiences, but find something you love to do, find something you can just do, and just be in that, and not give up, and just kind of lean into something that makes you happy, something that something like that. So in a positive aspect and being positive.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think you hit it on the head there, and trying to be leave something for your family. You say you got nieces and nephews and things like that. That's an important mental place to be when you know that they're looking up at you and things like that. Can you talk a little bit about, role models, and as far as your mom or any other people in your life, how you feel about, that, and how they see your art?
Yeah, just role models. It would be my mom, like just showing her strength, and I know she has her days, obviously, but for her to lose both of her sons and just still be here, still being positive, person, that's definitely big time, role model, as far as just like it makes you think too, like, okay, like I can do it too. I can I can still be positive. I can still live my life. I can still do this and do that. Um, just being positive in that aspect, because I mean, I can't say I know her pain. It's probably everyone has different levels and different, experiences. But we lost, you know, we lost the same family members, so it's kind of like, we're going through this grief together, and you know how I feel. I know how you feel. So just having that strength, is just makes me look up and be like, dang, like, I got to keep going as well. So yeah.
Right.
Yeah,
Okay.
that's an important part when you can relate to someone about your pain, especially if it's someone that close, which is your mom, and you're having that pain together and being able
Mm.
to build off of each other, because those steps that you're making, you can see when she's making a step, and you're like, well, then I can make a step. We're working through this together, and coming to a place where we can. Have good memories, because that's one of those things that is next, right? What are those good memories that you have, and bringing those things to fruition? Can you talk a little bit about the networking base that you're building? Talk a little bit about how you're networking to get your songs out there, and is it just social media, or are you really working with someone that's going to try to move you toward the level or your next step? Can you talk a little bit about your plans in that area?
Yeah, I kind of just most of it is social media, me posting on my page, just like my music and stuff like that. Sometimes I'll perform someone if there's an open mic, I'll try to perform and um just kind of connect with the people in charge and just be like, hey, like whenever you guys have open mics or like trying to, I always make sure I can, sign up or kind of like, connect with them on that level. That's mainly just like a local base for me to try to get my music out there more. So yeah, just basically just like social media and then locally wherever I'm at, or if I see something, I try to connect on that with those people.
Well, that's good. Is that nerve wracking for you? Are you like a straight up and say, "Oh, come on up to the stage"? Or are you like nervous when you're out there trying to perform, or you've gotten over that where you could just go out there and nail it, or do you have that
Oh,
dang
I'm a
man, they
bit
really don't
nervous.
want to
I'm a
hear
bit.
me?
Yeah,
They want,
now I'm gonna be nervous 100%, but you're not gonna see it. You're not gonna know that I'm nervous. I'm a definitely because I mean, believe it or not, I'm pretty shy, but I kind of got better at that more. So doing music more and more, it's kind of like brought me out my shell, honestly. But when I'm on stage, I'm like, oh man, I hope I don't mess up. I hope. But once I get into it, oh, then I'm cool. I'm fine. So like, but yeah, I get nervous.
oh yeah, yeah. Okay, just
I heard
making
that.
sure, making sure you were a real
Yeah, man,
artist out there. I'm
I'll
just
be up there nervous, man. I'll be up there
we
nervous.
try to rap
You know,
like
I yeah.
Man.
that's crazy. That's crazy. That's one of those things that every artist, man, you be up there singing and be like, I hope I know all my words to my own
Yeah,
song.
see, that's
Make sure I know where I'm supposed to be doing, because you can easily
yeah,
Yeah.
forget your own song.
that,
So
it happens. It
Yeah,
happens.
I had trouble with that right there. I was only be able to like remember like 5 songs and stuff. You know what I mean? Like
Yeah,
flawlessly after like the 6, 7 songs and stuff, I started messing up. So I knew some people that they knew like 20, 20 some songs, just freestyle, just remember. But I was
yeah,
like, man,
yeah. Yeah,
I
it's
can't
hard.
do
That's
that. You
hard
know what I
too.
mean? So yeah,
It's hard to
they just got
remember
that
that.
memory.
just think about those oldies out there, all them old folks out there singing, Gladys Knight, all them other people. They got 30, 40 songs. They bumping back to back to back to back. And you're like, dang, can you remember all
Man.
those words? Yes, they
Yeah,
can. Yes, they can. Talk to me. Talk to me a little bit about some of the advancement in, like in the music industry. There's a lot of, new types of, things that create your beats, things that, you can, equalizers and all these new tools that are out there for you to make your own music and bring your own beats together, and you don't really need all of these other people. Have you worked with any of that stuff, and how do you see that stuff in your rapping industry?
I personally never. I tried to like make my own music as far as like the beats and like be the engineer. Um, it's very frustrating, but I think with the new technology nowadays, if I have a chance to kind of just learn under somebody consistently, I think it's obviously it's a good thing because why not just be the one person and do everything right, because you right, you know how you want everything to be. But yeah, I think all the new technology is good. I think I mean, outside of the new AI stuff and people taking your voice and like that is I think that's taking it too far. But just like instrumental wise music, I think it's good. I think that's just something I would love to learn how to do on my
Right.
own.
Right.
Yeah, I think you would. I think you would do good in that, because you got the motivation and everything to be able to learn those other types of instrumentals. That will probably, even bring some other stuff out of you. As far as words and beats, because you never know what you're hearing. That brings out new, ways to write and stuff like that. Okay, what do you see? How you see yourself in like 5 years in the music industry? What do you see some of the goals that you're setting up and getting your music out there? What does that look like for you?
Um, like 5 years from now, for me, I would just say I hope that at some point that some of the songs and that I've already recorded, it starts to resonate with people. As far as just being relatable and something that they can appreciate more. But yeah, just 5 years from now, just like reaping what I sow. Like it's gonna be, I'm doing the work now, and then maybe 5 years from now, 1 year from now, maybe tomorrow, um, that one song hit. That's a couple songs hit. So I'm a firm believer in that. That maybe 5 years from now, I could be sitting on a couple million just from the music that I made
Whoa,
from
whoa,
from
whoa,
5 years
hold
ago.
up, hold up,
And you heard it
hold
here
up,
first.
hold up.
Yeah, man, you
Yeah, you
guys
heard it
speak,
here first.
you got
Couple
speaking
million.
into existence.
Sure.
You got,
I just want to be
we
able
got
to. I just want to
manifest.
cut the grass. I'll cut the
Yeah,
grass
we
for
got.
what is
Yeah,
it? 100,000 a year, 200,000.
just gotta you gotta
I just cut the
just try to
grass.
manifest that. 5 years from now,
Man.
maybe I'll
Yeah,
see the
yeah,
off that.
yeah, hell yeah,
Man.
hell yeah. You gotta believe it. You gotta believe it. Go ahead, Razak.
Man,
Take it away.
uh, I think you touched on it maybe a little bit, but I'm gonna try to get a little more detail to it. How do you view the impact of streaming services when it comes to the music? Because a lot of times we could just download stuff. I know you're on your site now. Do you think it maybe takes away from I guess I don't know, maybe the success or the money you can make because people could just stream it now versus actually going out and buying it?
yeah, I think accessibility is a big thing, so it's good because I can upload a song and you can have it in your phone, right? You don't have to go to the store and buy a CD or a cassette. Um,
Hmm.
So it's just you get it right away. It's right there. It's on your phone. It's on your laptop. You can Bluetooth and put it on the speaker over there. So I think just the streaming aspect of us getting it quick, getting it fast, and then being able to reach a lot of people at once. I think that's just amazing technology, obviously, for that. But yeah, I think it's a good thing as far as that. But as far as earnings and money, I think I know, every artist always talks about it, but I don't think the math is not mathing correctly. Because I know that even some well-known hip hop artists or whatever, they say, yeah, I got, you do 1 million streams, you not gonna, it's not like you gonna make $1 million off of it. It's like 1 million streams, you might well get. I don't know,
A couple
$1,000,
of thousand.
something. Yeah. So it's kind of like, yeah, I don't know, man. It's just it's kind of hard to kind of gauge on how the math is working out on the streaming aspect, and so yeah, that part obviously is the part we have to figure out and become better with, as far as just like whoever's in control of that. So yeah.
Yeah, well, I know. I don't know the specific numbers either, but I know
Yeah.
there's a couple of people that they, if, making their songs. I'll guess the streams, and then they get paid from that, so they're making a living through these companies. It's almost like, any one of these TikToks, or I believe Facebook has it too, and YouTube. When you get a certain amount of subscribers, we get a certain amount of views. What I mean? Then they start to pay you for advertisers and stuff like that. What I
Yeah.
mean? So I guess that's the way the world is going now, to, I guess, to go around actually putting yourself into a shot, and that's also goes to, like, what I mean, maybe independent, or trying to go for a label. What would you rather be, or
And
what would your goal be in that sense? Staying
independent for sure.
independent, or would you
Independent for
trying to see yourself with a label?
independent for sure. I think
Independent.
um I mean, every artist can, argue that, but I think just controlling and owning your own work, and not having to listen to what somebody is telling you to do, or telling you what kind of music to make, or telling you what to wear, or taking all of your money. I think I think just being independent just gives you more, allowance to be creative, to be yourself, and then to make more money for you, and yeah, I think even I mean, I'm tired of working for somebody else. So yeah, I'm gonna just I'll stay independent, and if it's a longer route, then it's just a longer route. But I can't, nah, independent.
Independent.
Yeah, for sure, for sure.
Okay, you said you did a couple of stages and stuff like that. You've been on I guess a little tour type of thing in the city or whatnot. So who have you collaborated with, or was it mostly just solo acts?
Most of my songs are solo. I don't really have many features. That I don't know. I think because me having a feature, it has to sound perfect. Like, I don't want to just put random people on my music, and that could
Hmm.
just be just a major creative like brain, like, no, stay away from my music. But I collab with people I know that makes good music, or that I know I can connect. That song is going to be good. I know, my cousin, he does music. We collab a lot, and it meshes well. So that's good. And I do have a song with Saya. I'm not sure if you guys know who she is, but she's a New York rapper, well known. And I had a verse she put on one of my songs. It sounds amazing. So I think I could probably do more collabs, but
Hmm.
it's strategically placed.
Okay, I heard that. Protect the music. Protect the music.
Yeah, yeah.
Let me
Strategically
see.
placed. Strategically placed.
Yeah.
What does
Man.
that mean? Where does
That-
that come from?
uh, yeah. Let me ask you this real fast. I had asked another person this before, and I think it applies here. Now we know on the spiritualness side of it, what I mean, whoever you may pray to, whatnot, I want to see, or I don't want to see, but I want to ask you, is there with the, and this is concerning the loss of your brothers in the I guess the spiritual, I want to say it's a spiritual sense. It might not be spiritual, but is there some things like, and I want to, like, like keeping their names alive, like shout out their names, and what is it that you might have taken from them? What I mean? Like, if because I know, like, there's might be some things that you may do, or you may think like, or you may act like, because of them, and it could be in a remembrance of them, or because you guys just had that bond, or is there that type of I guess with life going on, or a remembrance?
um, what I take from them, I guess, just the creative of this freestyling and in my music, and I think with my songs, I think them hearing that, and I think they like proud that, because at first I was trash, like my music, I just couldn't get it right, but as time went on, I got better and better and better, and I just think, you know, whatever that might be, it could be them, their spirit around me, and just uplifting that within me. But I think that's just one thing, that major thing that I share with them spiritually, and just their personalities, just being like my older brother. I always say that I take his survival of the fittest mentality of, you just got to keep going. Like if you don't have this, you gonna make it. Hey, just try to do it this way, or something like that. And then from both of them, just being very, like, just seeing the world not as serious, because for me, I usually always serious. I don't joke around a lot, but I do love to laugh. I
Mm-hmm.
do joke around a lot, and obviously, after they passed, I didn't, laugh a lot. Obviously, smile. I didn't feel happy, so that side of me kind of diminished. So like now I'm getting back to that self where I can lean into that more, and it kind of makes me smile, because it's like, that's how they were. We could sit around and just laugh all day, make jokes, and just enjoy life by just sitting around each other or something like that. So I think
Right.
that's another aspect of it. And just, I think, with their passing, the silver lining in all of it is just it allowed me to spiritually become closer to God, because it was more so like, dang, who do I rely on, right? Like I said before, I'm not the type of person who uh wait around for somebody to come save me or help me. And I said before, obviously human beings, they're not going to be able to, do that. Or, I mean, they may be able to comfort you, but you need somebody stronger than that. And that person and was God, basically, for me. Leaning into that spiritually, I became closer with my feelings and my belief and my faith with God, after my brother's passed. After obviously just going through therapy and just kind of figuring out a lot of different feelings and aspects of my life. It just allowed me to be more of a spiritual person, and I feel like I've always been spiritual, but it just magnifies. So for sure.
Okay. That's good. That's good. I like that. I like that. Say, okay, so you said that you're working also. So how do you balance going through the, I guess, the grieving process? Because I know that takes away energy right there. That
Mhm.
kind of keeps you down right there. But at the same time, having the energy at the same time to go to work, and then say, hey, I mean, I'm about to go to I got to go to work, and then I got to go to the studio. I got to have time to write down the music. I got to get my gear together for the video. You know
Yeah.
what I mean? How do you process that, or can you walk us through a day of how you get that done as far as the video, or going to the music to record
Mhm.
and do a project?
Um, yeah, it's hard. I wish that all I could do is music and get paid off of it, because it makes it that much more easier and focused, and you just focusing on one thing, so you can become more of a master of it. But I think just working and going to work. I know I had some days where I would go to work, have a studio session, and then trying to post content, post your music so people can see what you're doing, get your music. Um, it's pretty hard to focus on that, and then just being, but you just push through, because it's just something that you really feel like that's your passion. So it's just like something I just keep doing, or I'll just do it because once the song is done, that makes me happy. Like I finished something that I was able to create in my mind and put it into words. I think the grieving process for me and work has been really, it was hard at a point to even focus at work or learn new process or doing whatever, because it's just like my mind is not even here right now. So a lot of people, they don't understand that, and for me, I'm very to myself, so I don't explain like what's going on or whatever. But it's hard for people to understand that, and it's like, me going to work sometimes it would be like I do not want to be here, or I can't go to work today, and you just got to push through sometimes. And with the mental health and going to therapy is like, okay, it's okay not to go to work. You can't, just I'll be fine and go to work. So just learning all those aspects just it helps. But it's very hard. Working, trying to do music, writing songs, and doing everything like that. So I think it's just basically trying to balance it out, making sure like, okay, on my off days I'll do more of this, and then each day after work try to do this more. And instead of, for me it would be like, okay, maybe I need to cut out watching TV as much. Okay, so instead of like 2 hours, we're only gonna watch TV for 30 minutes. Let's get back here, let's do this, let's do that. So it's kind of like trying to be disciplined in it too, to try to find the time to get through it.
Okay. Okay.
Yes.
That's
That's what you
good. I
got to
like that
do.
answer.
All you got to do. You got to lay
Keith,
down the foundation. Yeah.
Yeah, for sure.
you got some?
I really think that you said, huh? You said a
Oh,
lot
go ahead.
about, what it means to do music, what it means to, stay motivated, and all of the things that you're doing as from all your sports that you've done as well. So can you tell me a little about your friends and your family as to, you know, um, talk a little bit about your friends and how they have been a part of, embracing not only your loss and keeping you, sane in a way, but everything that you're doing. Can you talk a little about how you have friends and what role they play in how you're doing with music and keeping yourself balanced? Do they ride with you or they don't ride with you?
Oh, nah. Now my friends are riders. I would just say that my friends are the realest friends that anybody can ever ask for. Honestly, I think they have been the most understanding of people. Just knowing that, with the loss of my brothers, and obviously we all grew up together, so they all know what I'm going through. For them just to accept, me sometimes not wanting to talk, me isolating myself, me moving to Cali, and they, I'm from East Coast, so they're still over there. Me coming over here, and we're still friends, and they being there for me. Hey, you all right? I know it's your brother's birthday today. What you doing today? Or just after the funeral, when it happened, even now, it's just the consistency of love that I can never repay them for, because it's always good to have people in your corner, regardless of what you're going through. And especially in my case, it was very pivotal on, and just me doing the right thing too. So if you have people around you that's just negative, thinking negative, or kind of like um persuading you to be negative as well and doing negative things, that weighs on you, and you just might make that decision because of who's in your circle. So I think just me having positive friends, loving friends that always checks on me, always there for me if I ask for something or I need something, and they come visit me, I come visit them, and we vibe like we never missed a beat. So I think, I don't think, I know for sure, like my friends, yeah, they're riders, they real. So like, yeah, this is more so like family though. I don't look at them as friends. It's like family.
Well,
Okay.
that's how it has to be. That sometimes,
Yeah.
even if it's just one, right? Because
Mhm.
not everybody you can be close to,
Yeah, for sure.
and especially when you know what type of person you are, you're looking for, I don't really, I had one friend years ago, and he was my best friend, man, until one day he stole from me. I was like, what's up with that? He stole something from
Yeah.
my house and went to the beach. And the beach chair he stole from my house, he got the nerve to sit in it
Beach
at the
chair.
beach. I've been looking for this chair. I'm like, man, and he's sitting in it.
Dang.
How did you
Mm.
get there? You stole me. That was the last time last time I ever talked to dude. But anyway, let me ask you this: do you feel like maybe some point in your life you'll be able to switch to a different music or crossover in some kind of way with another style and bring it into your style of music? How do you see you doing that? Or do you see yourself always trying to, you're going to be a rapper and you're not going to try to cross over in any type of other genre?
I mean, anything's possible. You can, but I think that's the greatest of the creative side, right? It's just like you can take something that it belongs over here, but you can put it in with what you got going on in the hip hop world, and we do it all the time. We can mix some songs in, different melodies, different tones, and stuff like that. But yeah, I can see myself mixing, with different, with different like vibes, as long as it makes sense for me at the end, like overall. I would love to learn how to sing. I think that's a game changer. But we take one thing at a time. One thing at a time.
Yeah, that'd be something.
You said you want to learn how to sing?
Yeah, I can a little bit, but not for real, for real.
Yeah.
So,
just a harmonizer.
so
Just
rapping
a
is not
background
singing,
Yeah.
you're trying to say.
What's that?
So rapping is not singing? The
I
rapping is
mean,
not singing?
it's
No.
a form. It's a form of depending on
I
how you
don't
do
know.
it.
You tell me.
Now it depends on the song. I can make it sound like I'm singing.
Yeah.
I heard that. Man, that's all good.
Make it
That's all
sound like,
good.
make the words sound like they have a melody to it.
Yeah,
Oh
Man.
my God. So
yeah,
what other projects that you're undertaking with your music? Or you have a new song or anything like that coming out, or
yeah.
are
I'm
you
just
writing a new song? What's coming up
yeah.
with you
I'm
right
just
now?
just working on new EPs. Do new Right now I'm just trying to make a just EP pack. So like a couple months ago I dropped a EP. It was like 4 songs, so I'm going with the short, not the 10-minute songs that you was talking about earlier. That's too long. You gotta hit them with the the 2 3 minute, the quick song, catch your attention, like, oh, I like this song, I want to hear more. So for me, I'm trying to tap into that marketing, like, because I know it works for me too. I can hear a song for like 2 minutes, and I'm like, oh, I wonder. And that's just how our social media is working, right? Like now, like you'll scroll on Instagram, you'll hear a song for 30 seconds, and it happened to me. I was just like, oh, I wonder who this artist is. I like this song that he has, and then I went and to his page and see all the other songs, like, you know okay, now I like, because now I'm going back to his music. Okay, I like this, I like this, I like this. So I think that works good with the marketing and the age of technology and attention spans that we're in now. So like, my projects are now work just do EPs, like 4 songs. Maybe I like doing songs with 2 verses. I think three, sometimes three is like long to me. But I could do two, three verses in a song, but the song is only going to be like, 2, 3 minutes, to keep you engaged. So you want to hear more, you want to hear more, you want to hear more. Of course, there's songs that's be longer, but for right now, the projects are just like, just drop 4 songs for an EP, and yeah, that's it. Just working on something like that.
All right.
Yeah,
Well, shoot, just keep it moving. Just keep it
yeah.
moving on that. What do you see? I know we may have discussed it a little bit before, but I really want to know, how do you, what advice that you can give the up and coming rapper or the youth that's out there, where they should kind of focus their mind, as far as bringing a little bit of take away some of that hardness from the rap, or bringing it to a place where people can get back into it without it being so diverse. What's the word I want to use is that it was a conflict all the time between these rappers.
Mm.
How do you see the new generation of rappers coming up, and what would you tell them?
Just be yourself. I mean, I feel like I say that a lot. I would just tell them, be yourself. Um, don't be afraid to be yourself. I think a lot of people are scared to just not be what everybody is already like rapping about. Like you're scared to just go here and just do your own thing. um and it works, but a lot of people, they're scared to do it, and they looking at the money, and we all, obviously we're not gonna turn down no money, but you can't sell yourself out and be fake either, or whatever. So I just tell them, just keep it real, be yourself. um don't chase. Just be you. The realness will come to you, type thing. Like, I think they don't hear that, or we coming up, we don't hear that a lot. Just be yourself. Your people that really love your music and love who you are, they're gonna attract to you. You know what I mean? So yeah,
Okay. Okay.
yeah.
Yeah.
Wow, that's great. That's great. Because the youth is a big part of what we need to make sure that we're constantly in our music and things that we do, that we're
Mm.
constantly leaving a crumb back there for them to pick up and say, you know what, I'm going to change a little bit or make a little difference, so we don't keep perpetuating the same type of violence or things that causes the same type of effect in our culture anyway. That's one of the things that I find. So I'm gonna ask you this question here, my girl. I'm gonna say, what is the significant impact? What, you guys don't like my questions? They're really
Nah,
good.
I'm engaged. I'm waiting. I'm like,
No,
hit
I
me.
want to
We
ask
I'm
waiting
like,
for you to
what
ask
question?
it.
you. Engaged? You waiting? You all in
I'm
the
waiting
screen
for it,
right
man.
now.
I'm on the edge of my seat. I'm waiting for the question.
Well, I also want to know, like, when you do your music and you're at home by yourself and you're doing it, have you found sometimes that that music like really your thing? Have you found that maybe that there's something else that you're better, because you say you play football, you play basketball, you have those other sports. Have you, you know, do you feel like you still want to be in the sports world? Do you think you have the ability to try to affect that part of the talent you have?
Nah, I think playing and taking it that serious. I think I'm done on that. I think, what was that, last year or the year before, I tore my Achilles, and I was just like, yeah, I'm done. I think it's not really an age thing. I think mentally it's just sometimes you just got to move on to do maybe something else that you're being called to do, or like a different passion. I just don't For me, I just don't, it was always just basketball or just sports. I want to be more open minded to see, like, what else am I good at, or regardless of how old you are, just like being able to be versatile and be like, okay, like I can play sports, but I also do music, and I also can do this, I can do that. Just like tapping into like just different talents and skills that you might not know you have. Like, I didn't know that I would be making. I wouldn't, 10 years ago, I wouldn't be like, oh yeah, I'm gonna make music and perform in front of people and want to, make this my career. I would have never said that, but just kind of stepping outside of the box kind of helps, like just seeing what else you're good at, or what else makes you happy, what else passions that you have inside of you.
Right. Right. There you go. There you go.
Yeah.
Wow. Well, that's a big part of it too. What is one of the big advice that you may have gotten from other artists that's out there? You may have heard on TV, you might have heard through their music, or you may have seen in a award show or something like that. What's one of the big advice you've gotten from another artist?
Just listening to For me, just listening to different podcasts, like music based podcasts, or just listening to people that I think that have sense and they know what they talking about. Um, Basically the importance of kind of being independent, the importance of that. Um, just the importance of just knowing what's going on around you, like, um if that's my manager, if that's somebody, like, what are they doing, where's the money going, where's what, just being more in tune and in your craft and treat it more like, a business, and just being just locked in. But the biggest thing is just, I would say, just, being independent, owning your music.
Yeah, yeah. Owning your music, the masters. Yeah,
Yes, yes, for sure.
Yeah,
copyrights,
that is one of the biggest things.
royalties.
I don't know where Razak disappeared to, but
All
there,
right.
what happened? Everybody disappeared. Um, when you talk about owning your music, and that's the independence of what you've been talking about as far as being independent and having that effect on your own business plan and what you want to do and your business format and everything like that. So all of those things are important to any business, and you are a business with your. Do you see yourself as a business, being a rapper, an artist? How do you deal with that, knowing that you are a business now? You are someone that is a corporation.
Um, yeah, I think that's just the ultimate goal, right? To kind of take something that you love doing and make it into a business where it becomes dollar signs and money. You can kind of make this your career. Um, I think that's just kind of like, where my mind goes into, like, okay, like, this is a business, I'm a business, and I have to, and that's why I kind of like pay attention to, like, how can I market certain things. Like, I was talking about how to structure the albums I'm making or the EPs that I'm making. How do I structure that? That's just the business behind it, right? Like, I want to make short, and that's another thing I heard from a famous artist that I like, was just like, you got to catch people's attention. Like, if I'm a new artist, which I am, and a lot of people may not know or hear my music. If I drop an album and I give you 20 songs, and maybe the first, you think about it, they're gonna play the first song, the second song they don't like it, or if it's too long, they're not gonna stay and listen to the rest or go to the other music that you have. So I feel like
Mm.
just making it a business, and just listening to how people structure things and how they're talking about music is just like, just making it a business. In fact, that, I'm gonna make EPs that's 4 songs, they're quick. That first song, maybe that will be the most catchy song or the most upbeat song, so people can continue to listen. I did have, like, one of my friends, they called me and they was like, "Oh man, I love this song. It's short. You gotta make it longer, or you gotta give me more songs." So then that was the whole point. I was just like, yeah, I'm giving you a little bit. See now how you're ready for the next thing to drop. You want more because it was a quick listen. You can listen to it in your car real quick and you're done listening to the album. So it's kind of like, you give people a little bit and then, like, oh, now they want more and more and more. So, like, I look at it as a business in that aspect too.
Hmm. That's right.
Yeah, that's a big part about understanding, right? Because if you
Mm.
understand that you are a business and that you are operating as a business, you're going to be able to put these things together, that you'll be able to say, okay, well, I gave you a little, like you said, and then I'm gonna drop my next album, and the cost of that, putting all that together, seeing yourself in that, and then also making sure that you document, right? Do you copyright your stuff? What do you do to establish ownership of your music and what you're putting out there prior to you letting everybody else see it? What are some of your business things that you're doing, whether you're trademarketing or whether you're copywriting or writing or whatever you're doing to make sure you maintain ownership?
So, like, when I just the form of uploading it, it's saying, this song is mine, right? So if someone, like, for instance, on Facebook, if you put a song on there, and if you don't say that, this, I don't own the rights to this, right? They won't play it. So, like, that's something, like, if I upload my song and you try to post it somewhere else and not put that, or um then that's just basically saying this song is mine. So that's just one aspect of just like making sure I upload it and put my name, like this is who I am, this is who wrote the lyrics, this is, I just put all that information to make, this is my song. And then like if you look at it on Instagram or even TikTok, you can write in a song title of mine and put my name, and it'll pop up. So it's kind of like, yeah, this person made this song, so this is my song. So I think.
Right.
Mm.
Yeah, that's a way of doing that, and I'm just going to speak on what I seem to found a little bit way of double protecting yourself in that way is copywriting it, right? Because anything you
Right.
write down, you technically it is copyrighted, but
Mm.
what you want to do is be able to have every word and every word that comes after it is being copyrighted as to what your song is about. Because some people can have your song, see the verbiage of your song, and just change a few things around and
Yeah,
sing
yeah,
it themselves. So what you want to do and making sure you go to the copyright office and they allow you to put 10 songs down there, and then you're copywriting every word. That way, someone even if you post it, you'll be able to maintain some real copyright certificate for that song. And that's what I did with about 10 of mine. And I have about 10 or 15 more I need to send out there and get copyrighted, because even though I know I wrote it down and I sing it, if I put it out, I want every word, because if somebody
yeah.
go and change it, then I'll only be able to say, no, you took these words out and you put that there, but the package is still mine. So I want to make
Yeah,
sure you never get that. So that's another
yeah,
way
for
of
sure.
you being able to protect yourself through the copyright office and put those lyrics in there that way. Can you tell me a little bit about what you've been seeing out there? Who you see blowing up? Who do you see out there as a rapper that you like, man, this dude's getting ready to blow up? Or matter of fact, let me just ask you this way: what female artist or rapper out there you see that's coming up? Like, man, they get ready to blow up too.
Um, I don't know. Not any like new artists that I try not to listen to. Um, well, I'll say this. I'm not sure. Like, I mean, we know like the popular people that's coming up, and it's like, oh, they took off, and it's like good. But I don't know. I don't really have someone that I listen to that is like that. I'm like, oh, this person is gonna blow up or whatever the case. I do listen to maybe some underground rap, or like someone who's not like a big A-list artist. I would say like Dave East. Obviously, East Coast. He's an East Coast rapper, but he kind of flies under the radar because he's not. I mean, I don't know what label he's signed to, but he's not like a big artist. I mean, as far as like popularity, like Drake or anybody like that. But that's somebody I can see who can possibly blow up more. But sometimes it's good to stay in a lane where it's just you. And I think um, the way he made himself a business and his music a business, it's kind of been a lot of inspiration and like seeing how like the things that he does even at even though he's not like a big time artist, it's kind of it's very interesting to see. So I think he would be one person.
Mm-hmm. I heard that.
Yeah, that's a big part when you're looking at those artists out there. You're seeing how they're structuring it as a business. They jump from like, oh, this is I'm just rapping and singing, until now you can see that business format start to form as they're getting out there doing their job as far as rapping and whatnot. Okay, so I really appreciate you giving me that information. I'm gonna kick it over to Razak for a last few questions.
Yes. Well, I was going to ask you because when I think of when I think of rapping, and you've been on stage, you've done videos, you've collaborated with some people here and there. Is there another area of entertainment industry you're looking to dive into? And when I say this, I'm talking about like because when you're doing these videos, that's kind of like being an actress or something. I mean, you're doing your videos, but at the same time, you say you're shy, but if you're getting in front of that video camera and you're doing this video, You know what I mean? You know, thousands of people, millions of people are about to see you.
You ain't shy
You
no
know what I
more.
mean? That you done came over that. You know, getting into soundtracks. You know what I mean, or even modeling in a sense, because you know what I mean. Yeah, the clothes that you have on, the fashion. You know, I see you got tattoos. All this stuff is a representation of something that you can be presented to, or you know, people could sponsor, I guess, as you say. So, is there anything else that you looked that you would include, like plus the rapping, like rapping plus this, like diving into something else?
Oh oh, yeah, for sure. Like I always like to step outside the box. So yeah, that's a good point. Like basically, like modeling would be good. Like that would be cool too. Even acting in movies or just doing the soundtracks for movies. It's funny you bring that up because there's artists who say I like Vince Staple. He's very smart businessman. And he's a rapper, but he's very smart, and I listen to a lot of what he says sometimes. And just pointing out, I remember him saying stuff like, you make soundtrack for the movie. Sometimes the artists get paid more, like doing that. Just having their, making a song for like movies and stuff like that. And I was just interesting to hear that take. So I would, to me that's interesting to like make your music based upon a movie theme. Like that's pretty
Right.
cool. I think that's a good creative uh lane to play with.
Well, you know, we had this lady we had talked to the other day, and you know, and she was you know, I also like, you
Mhm.
know, I got a book I was writing. You know, I was trying to be an author. I got like 4 books I wrote. I got some movie scripts and stuff I wrote. I'll be trying to run a little gauntlet on writing and stuff. So
Yeah.
and I'll be thinking like, okay, well, you know, I mean, because you know, I'll be looking for like because there was somebody else that I talked to before, like you know, the podcast can have like a theme song or something that comes up, you
Yeah.
know, and you just like came up in mind because I was thinking like, yeah, you know, we can have you do a little soundtrack or something like
Oh
that, you know,
yeah,
in
for
the
sure.
and the lady, you know, what I mean, if we ever actually, you know, contact her and we actually do come about something, you know, what I mean, there's always going to be a soundtrack. You know, there's always going to be some kind of music to the filming that she does. You know, what I mean, if we can ever collab and get everybody together on a project, you know, what I mean, I just like to know who we have. We can go grab and like,
Mhm.
okay, look it. Remember that thing I was telling you about? We about to go do it. You know what I mean? Like, you
Yeah.
know, let's get together. And a lot of these things, you don't have to be in the same city or something. You know what I mean? A lot of things we
Mhm.
could just go through the airways. And
Yeah, for sure. Yeah,
yeah, you
that's
know
cool.
hmm that's you know, I'm always on some, you know, I like to do collaborations and stuff like that. And you know, I think that's part of networking. You know, that's a
Mhm.
part of like a double advertising, double marketing. You know, the things we do, it includes you too. The things you do includes us. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? That's another thing the podcast does. You know what I mean? So it's like a double advertisement. You know, we both we both getting looked at. You know what I
Yeah.
mean?
Yeah.
And it's whether you telling people that you're on the podcast or we're telling people that you're on the podcast and we're putting you on in all these other sites. You know, it
Mhm.
brings attention to us both. You know, it's not one sided. So there is no downside. You know what I mean?
Mhm.
So and but with that, you know, aside from that,
Yeah.
what changes do you hope to see in the music industry in the future? And when I ask this, I mean like, okay, well, you know, like me, like when I was into my rapping area and there, and I was
Mhm.
doing music and stuff like that. I just feel like right now, I'm not in the, how should I say, a moment in time or the thought process that, you know, going touring the world and doing all this stuff and getting, you know,
Mhm.
a sold out arena. I'm about to be over there in France or somewhere, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Or matter of fact, forget about France. Let me just go over here to Vegas, you know what I mean? Someplace close. Let me just
Mhm.
make it to Vegas. You know what I mean? You know, I'm not really looking at it like that. I'm just saying I just want to record some stuff, you know, and stream it out. You know what I mean? And because I know that that's revenue right there. That's success in itself. Being able to say I went and I put this project together and I made it you know, it was public or published, I should say. So, in that sense, how would you have you had some thoughts on what needs to be improved in the music industry, and how you can we might be able to like spearhead some kind of improvements, or do make a change, and you can be the one that that leads the way.
to make the change. I think just the quality in the music, just to um, make it make sense more. I think they say history repeats itself, so hopefully we can get the more of the. I know we spoke about it earlier, like more of the storytelling uh, that we had back in the day, like the '90s, late '80s, and that type of music where it wasn't all 100% just violent stuff. You know what I mean? It was just being real, telling your story and how you had it, how this day went, and just music like that, just more quality in it. And of course, we all like to go out and listen to music you can dance to, and we always gonna want that. But just having more of a range of maybe something that's like the storytelling, the something I can just put on and really listen to. I have to listen to the lyrics because it's a message behind it, or you're trying to tell me something. I think that would be something I would love for it to see it go towards.
Right, right.
Yeah,
Yeah, I'm always looking up. We got a lot of this AI stuff going on, and a lot of this new technology, and I know I didn't really ask you too much about that. I know all that is just equipment and stuff like that,
yeah,
and I believe Keith asked you about the making your voice like that T-Pain type of stuff. They making all these
yeah,
voice things and stuff. So that's kind of what's going on now. But I mean. I know it's going to play a part. I just want to put
mm,
collaboration together with do some filming, background, and maybe do some videos that's not so, $100 million videos with all these super
yeah,
special effects to get their message across. I mean,
yeah,
if the potency of the words and the lyrics are there and it's impactful, the rest is just a show you're giving up. And I know it's about entertainment, but a lot of times that's what it is. They're just dressing it up. What I mean?
yeah.
But are you actually getting anything out of it? What I mean? Is it impacting you? And I think a lot of people and I meant to ask you this too, what I mean, because in the music industry, we see only
Yes or no?
it would seem like only certain people are getting more recognition than others.
Mm.
Like say these are award shows. What I mean? And just I just want to know your outlook on this real quick is when they have people who are talented also who are being overlooked to keep a certain person, certain artists, that they have the narrative of only this person. Like I don't really want to give out no names to get some backlash for it, but you look at like you said what so, but at the same time, you have certain people that are always getting the rewards. I mean
Mhm.
the awards, where they're always getting the top tens. And you mean to tell me that nobody else, out of the thousands of rappers, singers, nobody else is making nothing any good? What I mean? How is that possible? What I mean?
Yeah,
So that means that there's a biasness, or there's a more of a like how the person that is going to get you to your success level. But at the same time, would you say that you is success something in the terms of what I was saying? It doesn't matter if you're getting a reward or if you have triple platinum, double platinum, and you're always doing that. The success comes in when you're rewarded with fulfilling that. Hey, I wrote this stuff. I got it. What I mean, recorded. I got it video. I got it produced, and now I'm getting views on it.
yeah, I think yeah, we kind of talked about it earlier as far as just kind of like um the whole award show. I think it's yeah, I think it depend on independent. You sign with this label, they put money behind you, so yeah, you're going to be top 10 this, but this is what you have to rap about. You have to talk about killing each other. You have to talk about self-destruction, blah blah blah, and you can have these awards. You can be top 10. Now, I'm not saying that happens all the time. There are times where the people who talk like Killer Mike, and he won and off of his album, and I think it was a really good album. And not being signed to a major label and to be able to do that, I think that's where the silver lining is, where you can be yourself, you can talk about what you want to talk about. I think the award shows and like being top 10 over and over again, I think that comes with, sometimes it comes with a price, and it to me that is not worth it, depending on what that price is. I think not being able to make songs that you really want to like talk about or rap about, that to me that doesn't make sense. But yeah, I think that's just what it comes down to. I think yeah, the award shows, because I even some artists, they don't even go. Like you don't need the approval of someone to say, oh yeah, my project was good, I didn't get an award, so it must have been bad. There's some artists that they don't go because they don't need that satisfaction from someone who probably didn't even listen to your music or understand where you're coming from. So it's
Right.
kind of, I mean, I would be that type of artist where I'm not going if I'm independent. I'd rather stay home or stay in the studio, and whoever my fan base is, that's what it is. And you never like looking for validation. It'll come when people are buying your records, coming up to your shoes, buying tickets to
Yeah.
come see you perform. I think, yeah. Yes.
Yeah. Thank you.
Mm.
Thank you. I also appreciate you coming on the show.
Oh yeah,
And
for sure. Thank you for
man,
having me. It was fun talking about music. I haven't done this in a very long time.
oh
This is
no,
cool. Yeah, this is cool.
man, if I was in this, man, if I was doing this, that would be all we'd be talking about right now.
Yeah.
Man, I got some. I wanted to ask you too. Would you ever consider looking at somebody else's material? Well, I got some material. Just run it by you, see if not nothing outside of what you already do right now.
Mhm.
I mean, I know you have a certain kind of format you said that you're going by right now, but like I
Yeah.
always say, you never know what is going to be that hit. You know what I mean? And that's
Yeah.
the way I think of a lot of stuff. You know what I mean? A
Yeah.
lot of people,
It only
you
takes
know,
one.
yeah, you know what I mean? It might just be what you're saying or the way you're saying it. I heard a
Mhm.
lot of people, you know what, sometimes, let me just run this real quick. It's I didn't see people, they write and I read it and they'll be like, man, what is that? That sounds crazy. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? I'm just like, man, this don't really make no sense. I'm rapping, I'm kind of doing it, but then they'll do it, they'll get the doing the zoo, 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 doing the little beat stuff, and it just pop. What I mean, it just come to
Yeah.
life. So it could be all in the delivery.
Yeah.
It
Yeah.
could
For
be in the
sure.
whole perform. I'm not really a performer like that. That's why I say I'm not going to be over here touring. I'm not a performer. I ain't going to be dancing and doing that. I probably break my ankle or something. And fall off stage. But if I could just sit here and be like, yeah, 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 I mean, I could, okay, yeah, I could do that. But so look at it that way. I mean, and I want to see if we can do some collaborations in the near future, especially
Yeah.
if I can grab this lady and get her on board too.
Oh yeah, for sure. We can get that going. Just let me know.
Hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah, Keith.
Mhm.
We can't hear
You
you.
up? You up over there? Oh, you on mute? See?
You're on mute. We can't hear you.
Hey, you guys need to talk to
There
each
you
other
go.
while I'm on mute. No, I was gonna say, nah, I did one of Razak numbers. I did a Razak right there. But yeah, I think what he was talking about, it's important because the podcast, we get a lot of different people, and so far this particular lady I'm thinking about in this, she's a singer. Her brother sung for
Mhm.
the Barge. They were a little bit of singer, and then this actor. I mean, this lady came on, and she has a AD director, and she used to write
Mhm.
scripts and those small movies, and her cousin is do everything for the Equalizer and things
Mm.
like that. Razak writes music, you write music, I write. So all of these things that are we're doing with the podcast, it's kind of like we we're putting these networks together. We're putting these people that we can see. And I think Razak is on to something when we could sit back and call these people and see how we could do something. Doesn't take $1 million, doesn't take a lot, but
Yeah.
you have a niche and you're rapping that, and the way your flow is, all of those things are important that, we could try to build and put together. So I like you to, a couple of things I have left for you is to, talk about some of the things that maybe we didn't mention to you. Some things that maybe we didn't talk about. Can you just take a minute or two and bring that out? Maybe we didn't ask you the right question, or we didn't ask you something. So I want you to take a minute and talk about
Uh,
what we may have
uh,
missed.
what we missed? I don't know. I think we got everything. Yeah, just like just sports. Yeah, sports, music, grief, going through that process, therapy. We talked about that. Um, yeah, I mean, and just me as an artist, just coming from the era of freestyling, learning how to make a freestyle and make it make sense into a song, or just like learning how to make music and make it more relatable and just more of a melody, coming up with a hook and making that catchy. That's that. I mean, I think it's fun doing that sometimes, and I think getting better at that, especially with the hooks and making those more catchy and catchy, regardless of like what I'm talking about. And just having the range of just going through different topics. I mean, I know we talked about how most of my music is grief, but I do have songs just about just the competitive side of me. Of this song people can relate to, or this song they can play before they step on the court or on the field. Just talking about, yeah, I'm the best. I'm I'm doing this. So like just arranging that, and then going into the R&B, rapping about love and stuff like that. So I think just that range in music and just different experiences in life allowed me to have that range, and be able to bring, oh, I used to live here. This is the environment that I've been through. I can make a song about this. I moved here. This is the environment. Oh, I can make a song about this. I've been through this situation and this situation, so I can make a song about this. So it's just just being that creative artist, just putting your feelings into words and into a song. So I think just being an artist is just this is it's fun, and one day it'll turn into something where it can be a career where we don't have to to work and go to the studio and make this video, and then I have to go to work, and but this is the time where you just put that work in, and then for me, we'll see, you know, how it turns out. Maybe tomorrow, maybe next week, maybe a couple years from now, we'll see how it's received into the universe, into the world, and who relates to it. So
Speaking
yeah,
into existence.
yeah, exactly. Exactly.
Yeah,
Speaking
well,
into
yeah,
existence.
you definitely speak it into existence because you're doing it. So every
Yeah,
day you're working
yeah.
toward it and making it better. So all of those things are totally positive. Here on the podcast, KF&JF podcast, I like you to maybe tell me a little bit something here. What can we do differently to make this podcast better, or how you see us, and what we're trying to do? Because we're trying to bring people together. We're trying to build a network and everything. How do you see that, and how can we do things a little bit better in your eyes?
No, I think you guys do a really good job with asking questions. Is different question based and getting to know. I mean, whoever you're interviewing, just having different questions, and the range of the question. You talk about the background. You ask questions about oh, I play sports, and how does that relate to music? So I think it's very creative, even in you're questioning, and that's good because I know we was laughing earlier, but I was like, yeah, I'm at the edge of my seat. I'm waiting for the next question because it's like I gotta pay attention. I'm engaged. I gotta pay attention and see what you gonna ask because they're really their question is not like, oh yeah, what's your favorite color? It's like, how do you oh, you used to live here. Do you incorporate that with your music? And then the athlete, how do you incorporate that as being an artist? So I think it's very creative in how you guys ask questions. So I think that's I wouldn't, I can't, I wouldn't change anything. I'd continue to, be yourselves. Do your thing. Do it how you
There you
doing it.
go.
I wouldn't
Good
change
answer.
Hey,
Just
anything.
be you. That's right.
Yeah,
That's
I
right.
wouldn't change anything. It's cool.
right
Yeah.
on, right on. I like you to
Maybe,
be able to take
maybe
the
next
next
time we
few
can we can hear you rap.
minutes.
What?
Yeah, maybe next time we can hear
oh,
y'all rap.
oh, you don't
Oh,
want to do
yeah.
that.
Oh, yeah,
You
yeah.
don't want to do
Oh, my
that.
God.
Yeah,
Yeah,
next
yeah.
time
I
y'all
don't even
come
think
with
we got enough
a
time.
song.
I don't think we got enough time for that.
Hey,
Yeah.
Oh, I got one
I
for
was
you.
doing that a
We
couple of days
ready
Oh
for
ago
yeah.
because
that. Hey,
I
Yeah,
told you
you.
I got some beats. I got some beats. I was putting some
yeah.
beats together, and I was like, nah. But I didn't want to. I didn't want to have like surprise. If we got this beat, let's do a freestyle. Because then they was like,
Oh,
okay, well,
he's
you
shy.
freestyle
See,
too. I
he's
was like,
shy.
nah.
Hey,
I
Shit,
see.
yeah, he's shy.
Next time.
Hey,
Next
you know
time.
what? Tell me
I got
this.
a whole bunch of stuff written, right? Matter of fact, I got a book of stuff right there. I'm gonna be picking out of there, and I'm gonna be like, hey, let's look at this one. Let's do this. You say you only do about two. You average about two
You
verses
guys
a
are on
song
it,
too.
man.
I'd rather do that only because it's like it keeps the attention. And then sometimes when I do a 3-verse song, I just feel like it's just too long. That could just be me. I don't know, but it's just like
Depends on the hook.
I don't like listening
Mhm.
to songs. And there's songs even from like my favorite artists sometimes, and there'll be like 3 verses, and I'm like, oh, like 2 verses, the hook in the middle, the hook at the end, and that's it. It would just be that's all you need. Sometimes I think a song gets dragged out too long, and now I don't want to hear that long. I don't know.
That could be. That could be. If
Oh
I
my
if I do it like
God! You
that,
don't
I
want to
don't
hear
just
the
do a
long
regular.
version?
I don't do a
Nah,
regular
man.
16.
It's
I'll
not
do
it's
like
not the
a
60s no
a
more, man.
20.
We can't.
Yeah. Like if I only do two
Before
verses
you
instead of like the 16
before
bars,
the
it'll
eight?
be like 20 bars and 20 bars in
Yeah,
the
yeah,
chorus or
60,
the
yeah,
chorus.
16, 16, or yeah, you can extend it to the 20 to get you still get that feel of the third verse. But
Yeah.
yeah, 2 verses. I just feel
But
like it's
you
just
got to be spitting. You got to be man.
yeah,
I,
yeah.
Oh,
I do all kind of
But
stuff. I do it all.
I can't wait
I,
for you
I
guys
didn't
to
I
hear
didn't
my
write
music.
something for everything.
My music is storytelling.
yeah, see, there we go. We
I'm
go. Yeah, I want to
storytelling,
hear it.
Razak.
Yeah, next
Y'all
time.
need to
Yeah,
learn
yeah.
how to storytell. When you guys hear a good storytelling song, y'all gonna change y'all mind. You're gonna be saying, oh, you know what? I'm gonna go 4, 8, 16, 20. I'm gonna mix it all up. It's gonna be, y'all gonna be,
Yeah.
people gonna
See, we waiting.
be listening for a long
We waiting
time.
to hear it. Waiting to hear yours. Go ahead.
Yeah,
Oh yeah,
I got a whole bunch of
I'm out there.
I
I'm
got a whole
out
bunch
there
of little
already. I'm out
freestyle
there
videos
already.
too.
I just ain't put it out there.
All right,
I got
gotta put
hundreds
it
of
out,
freestyle
man. You gotta
videos.
put it out.
Oh my God. Hey,
Yeah.
you know what? I
What?
gotta ask you one more
Go ahead.
question here. I want to ask you to tell me what you're excited about, and then I want you to put your name, this is your mini commercial. Shoot it out
Man.
there.
What am I excited about? I'm excited about just continue to make music, continuing to have more and more people relate to it, listen to it, share it, stream it. Um, my Instagram K.Young forever K.Young the number 4 EVA has a link where it's all my songs have a music video that I did that's on there. So I'm just excited to see how it just unfolds, how everything unfolds, and just continuing to get better. Every song, each song, I just get better and better, and just learning different things about music that I didn't know, or just learning different strategic marketing schemes within the music. Just learning different ranges, and I know we talked about doing it for movies and stuff like that. So just kind of just stepping outside the box, but yeah, just continue to gain more of a fan base, and yeah, that's pretty much it. K Young forever. That's it.
Well, that's the plug.
K-Young
That's it.
forever.
Hey, you know her. I know K-Young.
K-Young forever. I know
Sure.
Well, you know what? We might as well say it now, Rizal. We know K-Young, so just in case somebody say we didn't know you, we saying it right now. We know K-Young. She get ready to blow up. Her music get ready to blow up. You guys get ready to hear this. And all I can say to you is hold tight, because this is going to be one of those times where we're going to be looking back on this and saying, man, she was on KF&JF podcast. Look at her on the TV screen, throwing her hair all around with her gold blinging all over the place and everything. The dog walking the dog and everything. Boy, she's going to be out there. I don't know what we're going to do, ladies and gentlemen. But look, Miss Young, I can't thank you enough for coming on the show. I can't thank you enough for taking the time out of your day, your busy schedule, and everything you've been doing. And I'm really, really appreciative of that. Everybody here at KF&JF Podcast can't thank you enough. And the listeners that are out there will be able to go and check out your music. And we're definitely going to make sure that they can hear your music. And we're going to push it as hard as we can. And with Razak on the other end of this, it's going to be great. It's going to be great. It's going to turn out great. And I look forward to seeing everything you get ready to do. I'll be riding with you. I know you got changes happening in your life. Things are moving so fast. I don't know if you want to talk about that or not, because, you're San Diegan now, but you may not be for long. So what you got to say about that, girl?
Y'all just moving around, man.
So
just
keep
moving
it moving.
Around. Moving around. Different experiences.
Traveling. You always moving.
Yeah, just it's good. Get different experiences. I can give you some.
You always moving.
Music.
So
say, I don't think we asked you. Did what were the teams?
That's
What's that?
I said I don't think we asked you what were the teams you played for. You said you did professional basketball and football.
So yeah, I played in Iceland, overseas basketball after college, and then the semi-pro with I played in a Philly team when I was on the East Coast, and then I played for San Diego Rebellion here in San Diego for football, women's football. So that was pretty fun. So yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yep.
Yeah, make sure we cover so we know where to find you at. We know from way back when,
Sure.
Hey, you might want to put that. I'm gonna tell you to put that computer down a little bit so I can get your picture with that hat on. I can't see your hat and your face.
Oh, you can't get that. You don't see that.
Yeah. We got to get that shot. There you go. Let's smile.
Right. Get that shot. All right. We good.
Say that name again.
K-Young forever.
Say that name again with a smile.
He the director behind the lens. K-Young forever. Forever.
Man.
I sit back, wonder like, damn, what happened? This shit is tragic. This shit is devastating. But they my angels now. We got the devil shaking. Cause it's nothing that I fear no more. It's really nothing you can tell me, I don't care no more.